I want to start tonight I want to open up with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for you are good. Your mercies endure forever. And Lord, I pray that you be here in this place tonight. Not only just tonight, but Lord, I know that you are sovereign. You are wherever we are at, Lord, that you will be there with us, that you will be our comfort, our peace, and our guiding hand. And Father, I thank you for that tonight. And Lord, we give you praise and glory, and we want to thank you for the blessings that you have given us. And Lord, I thank you for your hand that's always watching out for us, and your eyes that are always watching out for us. Lord, you are always looking over us and watching and caring for us. And so, Lord, I thank you for that tonight. In your name we pray. Amen. I thank everyone for coming out, and tonight we're just kind of, I guess we're giving honor to wonderful man. I'm just so thankful for having the opportunity to have met, to have met this family, to have met this man, it's amazing. I know we're all unique and different. God has created us that way, but I'm amazed at how unique some people can be. Okay? And Andy was unique. And I think, his family is unique. You're a unique family. I love you. But I'm going to read something here real quick. Andrew Bubba George Watson, 85, of Philippi, West Virginia, formerly of Freeport and Smithtown, Long Island, New York, passed away on Sunday, February 9th, 2020. Louis A. Johnson VA Medical Center. He was born June 7th, 1934, in Freeport, New York. The son of late Andrew Martin and Virginia Burton Watson. Andrew graduated from Seton Hall High School in Patchogue, New York. He served his country in the United States Navy during the Korean War, being stationed in Guam and Okinawa. Andrew was a retired firefighter with the New York Fire Department. In 1985, with over 20 years of service, Andrew enjoyed golfing, hunting, fishing, watching westerns and old TV shows. His life was his family and the fire department. Andrew is survived by his wife of 61 years, Carmela, 3 children, James, St. Lucia, Florida, Glenn, Tina, and Dennis. Oh, sorry. Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to apologize. There's some underlining here, and I'm just reading the underlining parts, and I skipped some stuff. So I might have messed it up a little bit, but anyways, y'all forgive me. Okay. I have no idea where I'm at now. I just lost my place. Daughter-in-law Susan Watson, St. James, New York. 11 grandchildren. James Joseph Watson Jr., Taylor Rose Watson, Kenneth Jr., Angela Faith, Gary Watson, Christopher Watson, Jennifer, Nicole, Andrew, Thomas, Kelly, Mia, and Wyatt. One sister, Ann Maldoni, Tampa, Florida. Several nieces, nephews, and many friends. He was preceded to death by his parents and by one son, Kenneth Watson, and one sister, Virginia. So, anyways, tonight, as I said, we're here to give honor and just share in a memory, and also just let family know, hey, we're your family too. Okay, and we love you, and we really appreciate this life. I mean, we're kind of, it's sort of not really. I don't want to say. I don't like the word celebration. It doesn't really seem to fit, but it's just. I like, he had a great life, and I want to take an opportunity to sort of celebrate it, but I know it's more of a reverent celebration, if that makes sense to anybody. But anyways, so tonight, I think Jim's going to sing a song, but I really don't know the order of this. I didn't put this together, but I'm kind of winging it right now. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
I would have to say that as looking at Andy's life, and it impacted me. Number one, several years ago, he come to the school system here and spoke of the history that he had in the Navy, and spoke to us about that. And I've always, anytime I see a man or a woman in a hat or any clothing that's military, I usually go up to them and shake their hand and tell them that I appreciate their service. And truly I did appreciate Andy's service in the military. And then just it's been a while ago now, I guess, 9/11, Andy was a firefighter, and of course his son and nephew lost their life in that. So this family has a remarkable background in what they have given not only to this church, but to this country. And I can't thank Andy, but I loved him with all my heart. The last time I got to spend with him, we were working on a swimming pool, and he was trying to get the leaves out and get it all sucked up there, and he was having a rough time, and I basically had to wait till he went into the garage to get something so I could pull out leaves and do different things. I really didn't want to insult him, but he was having a hard time with that right there before he went to the got as he did there. But I appreciate his life, and in that appreciation, I'm going to try to sing and give a little bit of justice and to sing this song of what he has given to me and given to us all in this nation. It might have just been one man, but yet if each one of us in America would just give something, we would have we would still have a great nation. But I believe that we could have a greater nation if we all believe that just one person can make a difference. And here we are tonight, celebrating the life of a man that made a difference in all of our lives. Thank the Lord for it.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my God above
Psalm 103, verse 14 through 17 says this, "For he himself knows our frame, and he is mindful that we are but dust. As for man, his days are like grass, and as a flower of the field, so he flourishes. And when the wind has passed over it, it is no more. And its place acknowledges it no longer. But the loving kindness of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting on those who fear him, and his righteousness to his children's children." Just a moment, I want to open up. Anyone that has anything they want to share, you can come forward. But I do want to share just a little something here this evening. Like I said, we're here to honor the life and the legacy of Andy, but also I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of his life and be a part of this, even here tonight. But just a little bit ago, I was having a conversation right here and with Tina, and you brought up, you said like 25 years ago, I think, yeah. And wow, and it's like, this scripture says, man is like, dust or like a flower. We're here for a moment, or like grass. It's green one day and it's gone the next in this life. And the older we get, it seems that it just seems to be going faster and faster and faster. And life is short, and it's amazing. It's kind of hard to fathom that it's been so long ago. I don't even when did you all move here? I don't even remember. That's been okay. So it's been. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's been a little while ago. But I want to say this. One of my fondest memories is that any time I come over to visit, well, two things. Carmela, you always had some kind of food, always. But Andy was always busy with something. There was never, well, maybe it was just me. Maybe I just showed up at that time, but I'm assuming maybe he was that way all the time. But he was always busy. There was something on the house. Something needed painted, something needed fixed, needed cleaned, something that bushes needed trimmed. I don't know what, but he was always busy, and I always admired that. But I want to go ahead and if anybody wants to come forward, wants to share.
Met Andy several years ago. He's bought a piece of property up there on the hill. Said, I'm gonna put a log house up there. I was doing a little contracting back in. He said, I need a road. Got a piece of equipment, knocked the road up in there. Dug him a basement, laid up a basement there. He had a log house put on it. And pretty nice looking place, but when he got it, had all kind of crab apples, you name it, all over the place, man. He cut them things, got that old chipper, shipped them things all up, man. Place looked pretty sharp, But I always can say Andy was a good friend. I can tell you that, and that log house was something, I could tell it was always something, he just had to do it. He had to get that thing. And, he had to have it. And I can remember him in there, hand sanding those things, man. I said, good golly, man. Sanding all them rafters with the, and I had an electric sander. I picked up. I said, "Try this thing out, man." I mean, up in there just sanding them things. I said, "Ain't nobody gonna see them anyway up there," but he's sanding them anyway. I mean, who can see them top of them rafters up there? Nobody, but he's sanding away, man. I said, but all the time I've known Andy, He even went horseback riding with me one time, man. Yeah, he did. And he really liked to hunt. Me and him talked about deer hunting. I mean, there's what was going on. What else was going on? We'd always talk about deer hunting. And I was so glad to see him accomplish that there with that log home, and he thoroughly enjoyed it, and nice little piece of property with deer coming around stuff. Hey, that's the way you're supposed to live, you know. I don't know what it is like up in New York. I was there one time, and I don't particularly want to go back. I mean, they run over you up there in the streets. I mean, to tell you, you better get out the street now. I mean, you know, ain't no need to try to find a place to park. Every time you pull over, somebody run you off. You gotta go find someplace else, man. So that was my experience with New York. And I mean, the whole place ain't like that maybe, but where I was at, and he became a taxi driver. I was so glad that man, because he knew how to go all over the place. He knew how to do all that, but I was sure glad when he showed up, because I was ready to go home, you know. But I enjoyed him enjoying that place. I really did. I really enjoyed that. And like I said, I don't know the whole place, New York's like that, but that's pretty calm atmosphere, pretty nice up there. And you can just, your mind can just drift around in the woods and around, and just enjoy things. I'm just telling you now, I couldn't do that in New York. I mean, there might be some places in New York again, I don't know. But where I was at, you couldn't just sit down and just enjoy the atmosphere. And I enjoyed every opportunity I got to go up there and just, if we didn't do nothing but look around or knock down a tree or whatever we did, don't mean there never mind me, just enjoyed it. And it's been said, and I'll say it again, he was a very special person. He was the kind of person wasn't afraid to give himself. If you're going to be a real fireman and a servant of that, you had to be a special person. You had to be above the cut of what, in order to be a fireman, a real one. I mean, a real one. He talking about somebody just rides a fire truck. I'm talking about you could tell he's a real fireman.
It wasn't just a paycheck.
That's it. It wasn't just about that. He was dedicated to that job, as well as he was dedicated to everything else I've seen him involved in. And that's high quality to me. It's high quality, and I admire that in him. And certainly appreciate the time I had with him. And it was pleasant for me to be with him. And we could talk about golf a little bit, but let me tell you this. They took me golfing on Father's Day, okay? I don't know nothing about golf. I ain't never played golf in my life. But we took all the golf players. Andy, Melvin, Seth. I don't know, who would you go over there? And so we started this golf stuff, you know. And so I got the biggest club I could find out of that bag. And and I said they golf ball. I whacked that thing, man. I whacked that thing and went clear over there where it's supposed to go. You know? And they said, well, you're supposed to use this golf club now. I said, this one suits me fine. You can't carry that old big bag around. This one club's on me. You know? So I whacked that thing, man, and it went down the sand one time. I went down there in the sand, whammo, I knocked that thing. They said, how'd you get that ball out there? He said, you're supposed to use this saw. I said, I just whacked it. And they had a blast laughing at me. I played the whole game with one club. You know? But all the big golfers, we got to the pond. You know where the big pond is? All the golfers, guess what? They all put their golf ball in the pond. You know where mine went? Clear over pond, clear past the green. I had to go back and drive it back. But they was all golfers, so I've never been before in my life. You know, we had a blast, I'll tell you. They left their stuff simple at me. Running around that big club on the number 5. What was that thing? Big had a big old head on it. When I hit that thing, it went across the pond, went across the green, clear past the hole. And all of them, every one of them put theirs in the pond. I said, man, you guys, all you fancy golf players, you know. We did have a blast that day, I'll tell you, we did. And you know, Andy was a real golfer. I mean, he played golf every day if he could. But that's the first time I ever played golf. You know. And I couldn't figure out why they had to have 10, 15 clubs. One of them looked at me, says, you know, I could hit that thing from one hole to the other, then it'd take me a dozen shots to get it in the hole. I'd hit it from one hole, clear the other one, then I'd have 5 or 6 shots trying to get that thing in the hole. I got a plan figured out though. I'm going to put a magnet in that golf ball and put one in the hole next time. And just tap wherever that bush should go right to the hole. Yeah. One shot from one hole to the other, and then half a dozen shots trying to get that thing in there. You know, but you talk about having fun, we had a blast that day. We had a blast that day. But when they all knocked it in the pond, I couldn't get over. Every one of them hit theirs in the pond. I said, you supposed to do that? No. I whacked it for you. Clear across over there. Past the hole and everything. I said, but you could have a lot of fun with Andy. And we did. Made different occasions. Just enjoyed the kind of person you enjoy being with.
Yes.
No? And I got to meet these, well, they're not kids now, are they? You got to meet these kids. And now they got bunches of kids. Yeah. But, and they got kids, man. Don't remind me, you know. That means more years passed by. A long time ago, she was just a teenager when she came up here. And I remember she went horseback riding too. And I don't remember if it was a day me and Andy went or not, but anyway, she went horseback. She's just a teenager. Now she's a couple of days older than I, you know. And she told me the other day, her daughter's got a baby. She told me the other day, her daughter, that means it's been a couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody, and I got to help Bradley out here. You got to know how to say New York, man. You can't say that other. You got to say New York. You got to understand that. You know what? That's what you're supposed to say. And nobody I enjoyed being around more than being around him and his family. And to see the accomplishments, in their life. And just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all. And good man. Man you can be proud of. A husband and a father you can be proud of. Never have to look any other direction. Be proud of him. And I just want to say I appreciate that so much. HQ stands for high quality, man. HQ, high quality. And you all know we love you around here, and we do appreciate you. I better shut up because my wife always tells me I talk too much. Always telling me that. But okay.
Is there anyone else here this evening?
One thing I always remember, will always remember, is he would always say my bride. And I thought that was so honorable. He'd always say, here comes my bride. And so that was one thing I always remembered and I enjoyed. And I enjoyed meeting his family, and they got to be the first people that experienced cow manure when they came to my house. And they'll never forget it, but those kind of things, and our Thanksgiving dinners and our cookouts, you can't beat that. And I had the honor of cooking spaghetti with him, and I have his recipe, and I don't know if anybody else does. Do you have it? But that was one thing I asked him. I said, hey, when you cook your spaghetti, can I come over? And so I still have his recipe. But it was just a joy to be with him. And I enjoyed that, and I thank you for that. And it's pretty cool to be, they thought I was his daughter. I'd go in the hospital, because, y'all weren't here, you'd be on your way down. I'd sit there with him, and yeah, I couldn't lie when they asked me. I couldn't say I was his daughter, but it was cool that they thought I was up to that time. A couple times I said, well, I'm just as bad as his daughter was. That's true. So, I enjoyed the times that I even went to the VA, and I was telling him that we took a nap together because I was tired, so I went to the VA, and he was wanting to take a nap, and I said, well, I just sat in this chair, and we took a nap together, and, it was a hard time, because you knew the kind of man he was, and he wasn't there, but just to be there with him and hold his hand, and he may have never knew it, but I did. That's how much he meant to me, and I was just proud, and I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget something, so. The wiffle ball times, and he told about the Father's Day when we spent golfing. We didn't get it off. The women stayed to cook while they went and did her. That was fun, and the drive through New York. We got to go to New York, and I never will drive through New York like that, but he didn't hit one car, but he made, I'll never forget, it was a 2-lane road, and he made a 3rd lane and got through, and I don't know how he did it, but it was okay, because I wasn't driving, but that was a blast. We had a blast that day, and I was very grateful because he was not a Yankees fan, but he went with us, and, well, I'm not really a Yankees fan either, but it was for my family, we went, and he just was a part of our family. And I enjoyed that, and I thank you. And don't forget about us. When we're way up there, don't forget about us, and we won't forget about you. Love you all.
She brought up that one day I was just a great day. All three of my boys, and he took us, we went to the Bronx Zoo, and that was a blast, because nobody spoke English, and I was walking around making up my own took us to this diner. I don't know, somewhere he always ate. We just ate. I don't even know where it was in New York, but we ate there at the diner and just sat. And then, you know, that drive, then I think it was from there to Yankee Stadium, that drive, it was like really close to, I don't know if it was the subway, the train, I don't know what, but we were close and it was freaking me out, but we made it. And just had a great time, you know, the ball game, you know, the old Yankee Stadium. It was just like Jeff Moore got this song. What is the name of that song? One of these, just talking about picking out days of your life, and you know, he wasn't my dad. My dad's passed, my mom's passed, but it was just one of them days with him, and it was just really cool. It was just cool to know him and to know his family, and that was a great day. And I'm gonna miss him.
Just so everybody knows, my father used to drive a fire truck in New York City. For a few years, he was a chauffeur, driving through Brooklyn, so he got to know how to handle a vehicle in New York City.
Anybody else this evening? Somebody want to share?
I'm not gonna say enough, but I was telling them a couple nights ago, the first time I ever ate linguine and clam sauce was at Andy and Carmelo's. It was New Year's, I don't know, probably 5-6 years ago, before Andy got sick. I think it was actually the last time that Andy cooked it. And I had never had it before, I haven't had it since, but I mean, it was really good, and Carmela had bread, and Andy was, you know, just talking about when he was a fireman and, you know, some of the things he did. And I know a lot of people say I have an accent, people hear I have an accent, but I was like, I love their accent. But the thing about it is the way you say daddy, because it's like so much emphasis, you know what I mean? Just like a little girl with their dad, you know. And I get weepy because I think about my own parents and how old they are. And my dad has dementia, and thank God he still remembers me. But I know one of these days he's not. But I'll never forget him. You know, and I just appreciate it. I kind of felt like Carmela was another mother, just like Sister Patty, you know. And when you guys start getting up in age, you appreciate life more because you see how short life is. You know, like you said, your life is a vapor. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow. So you have to make the best of what you have right now. And those good memories, you know, those good memories. And I just really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I love Carmela. And I was thinking about my grandkids. And in the summer times, we used to come to your house. And he'd be out there cleaning out the pool, you know, and all the kids, your kids when they were younger, and the kids had a blast, man. They just played Renee's grandkids, Renee's kids, I should say. And I mean, they just had a blast, you know, and all the kids were there. You'd have parties at your house. I remember the cakes, pies. I mean, you were a good baker, I'm telling you. You know, but I mean, they were good times. I just appreciate that God sent me here to West Virginia. You know, there's been hard times, but I appreciate it because I have a lot of family. I have a lot of family, and I thank God for that. You know, and I thank God for you guys.
Yes.
I didn't know Andy very well. I'd only been around him a couple different times, but I fell in love with Carmela. And I love the stories that she told and the relationship that they had and how much she loved him. And then it wasn't long after that I got to meet Glenn. And I was so impressed with him because of the fact that he took such good care of his mom. And you don't see a lot of people that do that anymore, and especially with her being so far away. I was just so impressed that, you know, he would take the time and he'd come and you'd do things for her. And she all the time talked about how that, you know, when things got crazy and she was in a mess, that she always could call you on the phone and she knew that you wouldn't scold her, that you would talk to her. And, you know, that says a lot to me of what your dad was, because, you know, as kids, we try to imitate and be like our fathers. And that said a lot to me about what kind of a man Andy was because of the man that you were. And then a couple of summers ago, we got to meet Jimmy. And Jimmy reminded me of just a big teddy bear. And, you know, his mama loved him just as much. She talked about Tina all the time. We'd never met Tina, but Tina was her baby. And Carmela has a love for you kids that I hope and pray that you realize. Because a lot of times, we don't realize how much our parents mean and how much they loved us until it's too late. So please, please remember and know that she loves you dearly. And she's so very, very proud of you. And I am so thankful to God that I got the opportunity to spend the time with her and to be with her while she was here. And I thank you for sharing her with the rest of us.
Yes.
I love you, Carmela.
Glen's the Carmela whisperer. I
Oh.
say, because I'm like more emotional. I'm like, Mom, you know, come on now. He's just like,
But he's the boy.
and he's just like my dad. You know, where I'm more emotional.
I would like to say something. I'm not going to come up there either, but I remember I was out here cleaning the church one day, and this lady walked in, and she said, Jessie Shaw down at the Christian bookstore sent me out here. And here it was Carmela. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. And the first thing she told me was, I'm a baker. And I agree. She is a baker. And, you know, and when the first time I met Andy, I told her, I said, right there's one of our good American heroes,
Yes,
you know? And he was,
yes.
real life hero. And I want to thank you guys for coming and sharing with us tonight. Love you.
Thank you.
Well, I like to say a few words. I've never been a kinder person than Andy. And from the first time Ann and Carmela, we met, to see my family. I mean, we just was always friendly with each other, and we went out to eat all the time on her anniversary and his birthday, the same day. We always celebrated together, and we had such good times. And Andy was so kind to everybody. He went to Maryland with us, Steve Krabs one day, all the way to Maryland. That was a long trip, and we had crabs that day. And then anytime you wanted to, on Sunday afternoon, you come and eat dinner with us. We'd say, come on over, and you all come. I just appreciate that, because you don't have a lot of friends that you can just say, they're like family. They wouldn't like, you know, and I just appreciate them both. Appreciated Andy because he, you know, anything that the church maybe was involved in or something, he tried to help, you know. He helped work on it downstairs and all when we were redoing it. I just thank him. I remember when Bradley was in school and he had to write a report on a military person while he picked Andy. And he was up there, and I remember that reporting, made a good grade on it, because you had to. But all the kids loved Andy, all the young people. I mean, you know, Andy was just that kind of person, like Jean said, getting out to love him. And we loved him, appreciate him, everything he did. And Carmela, I'm so glad we met and we got to know him. I always felt like she was one of my closest friends. And I just thank God for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else this evening? I will say, this few that was sharing here just tonight, it brought back a few more memories, things I had kind of forgotten. But to realize that there was a lot of times, in my life, you all was really a part of, now it's not really forefront, but right there, like part of my life a lot. Because I remember being there when the log house was being built. I remember being there with the basement and all that was getting done. I remember that. I remember one of the first times we went. Well, it was one of my first times muzzleloader hunting, and I'm not sure. It may have been Andy's first time with a muzzleloader. I'm not sure, but that was an experience. I remember. Well, in particular, I just remember that we had these deer about run over us like twice. And for some reason, his muzzleloader wouldn't go off. I don't know why. And I had never really seen him that frustrated until that moment. He was so frustrated, and it would work fine, but when the deer would come, it wouldn't work. But it's amazing how much influence different ones have on your life, and sometimes you don't even realize it. And I think this is good, what we have here tonight. It reminds me, maybe nobody else, but it reminds me of how influential certain people are and how much of an influence that you can have on someone's life. And it was very positive influence. I thank you for it. Thank you for it. No one else has anything else to say?
On earth was trouble, only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil, and you're no stranger to the rain. And the sun, oh how we cried the day you left us, and gathered around your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angel faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So
again, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you once again